Just kind of tell me what your game plan is going up against Iowa this weekend. It'll be the first time in a while that you guys don't play, a top 25 ranked team, I think. So just tell me you guys' attitude going into this game.
Yeah, so this weekend is another opportunity to get out there and show what Michigan State volleyball is all about. We did have a 3-week kind of off break because we had COVID issues, but we've been in the gym practicing, getting better at certain elements of our game, how to play fast, how to play together, how to work through the tough moments, and how to really get out there and just have fun, be free, and just play volleyball. So I'm excited to go out there this weekend and just have another opportunity to show what Michigan State volleyball is all about.
And as the practices go on, and are you guys practicing together now as a team?
Yes, we are practicing as a
Okay.
team now.
So are you kind of seeing, the rhythm and the chemistry starting to come back?
Yes, I feel like from our passing to our setting to our hitting is starting to develop more as it was before we had our issues with COVID. So we are improving in that aspect.
All right, yeah, and just kind of specifically, what things have you guys focused on in practice, and just how has the atmosphere of practice been?
The atmosphere in practice has been amazing. I feel like all of the girls are willing to learn and do the work that it takes to be a great team. We've been working and focusing a lot on blocking and hitting different shots and making sure our offense is flowing. So yeah, we've been doing some really good stuff. Serving aggressively, um, and just learning how to do better at communicating with each other while we're on the court together.
All right, Jordan, did you have
Yeah,
any
I
other
think
questions? Did you have any other questions for
um,
Naya or?
no, not for Naya. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. You are free.
Oh, thanks.
Oh my gosh, pretty quick, Naya.
All right. Thank you. Jordan, why don't you go ahead with your questions for Coach George?
All right, yeah, Kathy, I'm gonna ask you one similar question. Just how has practice been? How has it been able to, finally practice together after such a long time? How does your team look?
Well, it is, yes, because we were just piecemealing for a while, and we've been adding players day by day. It seems like to get back to where we want to be. So just wanting to work on multi-contact types of things because for a while there it was just you can only we were gradually returning. So, we're trying to getting all those tempos and all those different things together with the team. And so, like Naya said, it's been good. And, the team is thinking about how to get better all the time and looking forward to getting on the court and, getting everybody back together and just, getting after it for these next 2 weeks. So.
And what are some things that Iowa might do specifically that you guys are kind of planning for?
Well, I think Iowa, they're a good team and they run a lot of, right side. They have some great attackers and do, just have good balance in their offense. So we know that they're running a 6-2, so they will have pin to pin activity. And so we're going to need to make sure that our block is, especially attentive and watching, just kind of making sure we're read blocking well, that we're doing the different things that we need to do in order to put up a good solid block and let the defense work around it. I don't know that maybe that was as strong for us last week, but again, we hadn't been practicing much together. And so, really connecting the blockers with the defenders is important. And so, as we've been able to get in practice, we're working to kind of solidify some of those things defensively while we're also working on what can we do offensively. Iowa's a good solid team and they really are. And they play tenacious defense. So we're going to need to make sure that we're taking care of opportunities that we may have. There's no easy game in the Big Ten. We know that. So it's just, it's a out and out grind every single time. And I thought Iowa played really pretty well at times with Nebraska, and we're giving them a fight and, just, know that their good's really good. So gotta be ready for all that.
And are there any updates on Sarah Franklin, and her hand? Will you guys even have her back this season at all?
She's still day by day. I think she had an x-ray this week. She won't be ready this weekend. So, we will, we know that, but just kind of getting some of the, we're seeing great progress. So we'll see where we're at.
And then kind of, your stronger offensive players, Karnowski and Max Brown, they kind of came on late last games. So kind of just have they kind of, been stepping up a lot in practice along with in games and kind of,
Yeah, well, I think anybody who's been able to get a couple days under them in practice, they're getting better all the time. And so you're seeing that. But I do think that we have a lot of offensive power in, Karnowski and Cecily, definitely, we see them coming along and they're so athletic, and so you see some of those things happening and how they're able to, shot make and also have the power to attack and put the ball down. So.
Kathy, can you talk a little bit about two things? One, Iowa's playing in a brand new facility. So, there's obviously, you play in a new gym every year, but what that might do, versus playing in Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Well, actually, Jamie, we are playing in Carver Hawkeye because there's a monster truck thing, so they're not able to use the facility. So we actually will be back in Carver. So it's what everybody's really familiar with. And
there you go. Well, see,
big,
they didn't tell me that they were back at Carver Hawkeye.
I think it's on their thing, but it's but they so that's a big. It's like us playing in Breslin, right? Just with no fans. It's going to be,
right.
It's a big, enormous place. But that's how, it's always been a very big venue. And so you have to bring a lot of your energy. Your team has to bring energy and, it's going to get drowned out a little bit. It's going to seem very quiet out there. So, I don't know, they are allowing 4 people per player in there. So there's going to be a few people there, but, to fill up, I think it's like 14 to 17,000 people that can sit in that place. So it's going to be a little bit like that. So we do have to provide energy.
Yeah. And can you also talk about just team travel in the time of COVID and how things are pretty different than, the other, your non-COVID year, but can you just talk a little bit about the challenges of, moving 25 to 30 people from one city to another?
Well, what's funny about that is we haven't traveled all that much. We went to Maryland, we went to Minnesota. We missed 2 away trips other than that. And now this is Iowa. So we are, we are going to fly commercial, which typically we don't, but it's, it's bringing us, but we're going right in there. And so it'll be fine. And just, again, it is what it is. The difference is we're playing back to back at one place. So, that makes for an easier transition. And one thing it does is helps your scouting from night to night. So you don't have to re-explain a whole scouting report from usually a Friday to a Saturday. We always play Friday, Saturday, back to back. That's not different for us, but typically we play a different opponent and we travel in between, where, you might say that's nice. There is some value to playing different opponents night to night, but there's also just the ease of travel by staying in the same place. You don't get your home and away. You don't, once you get a team on the road, you get them on the road. You don't get that parity that way. And we aren't playing everybody in the league this year. So, everybody's schedule is a little bit different, which is, maybe helps some people and hurts some other people. And then with COVID, a lot of teams have been out. You've seen Minnesota out, Wisconsin out, Maryland out, Michigan out. I think that's about it. Oh, Northwestern out. So you've seen a lot of teams that have been affected by COVID. So the schedules are all over the place. And arguably Michigan State has had one of the toughest schedules in that by playing Penn State, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Ohio State. Those are 8 matches in the top 12 in the nation. And that's 6 of them are in the top 10. So the schedule that we've played is arguably the toughest schedule that anybody's had to play in the league. And so, with our only outside matches of that would be the 2 at Maryland and 1 with Michigan, who they were also ranked in the top 20. So, it's been hard, in terms of that, but you like to play the best because in a way, as long as you keep yourself, in a good place, you're getting to find out what it's like to play those teams. And, I thought we played several of them at different times, very tough. I just think we have to kind of be able to put those things together a little bit longer and use the information that we've gotten through playing that kind of tough schedule to propel us forward. So it's been a tough road in terms of that schedule. But, again, we missed a couple weekends. We missed the Michigan week, so when they were out with the variant, and then so on and so forth, and then picked up a couple of our own. So, now we're left with these 2 weeks. So,
what are kind of the challenges that you've posed to your team in these final 2 weeks? Where, okay, guys, we're coming back, and obviously this hasn't been the season that we wanted it to be. In terms of the the number of matches you're going to play, and and I think we're all hopeful for a fall season that looks a lot more like normal, where you have some non-conference, where you have some time, you're not opening with the number one, a top 5 team in the country. What are the goals for this last couple weeks, where you're trying to, you have some challenges just getting people back on the court for these final 3 weeks?
Right. Like basically what you have to do is you have to do the best you can. And we've talked a lot about this year, it's been the whole year, COVID, knowing what you're dealing with day to day, whether we were like from the fall when we were starting off thinking we were going to play in the fall, and then all of a sudden we weren't playing in the fall. And then are we going to be able to practice in the fall? Then are we going to be able to play in the spring? Everything has been, pretty much out of our control, everything that we see. So you can only really keep yourself in the moment and say, what can we do? And can we do it to the best of our ability? So that's what we've been going with. And these last 2 weeks are no different. You don't know what you're going to get hit with in the next 2 weeks. I mean, who knows? I mean, like maybe one of these teams get COVID. You just don't know. So you really try to hold on to the things that you can have. Like, we want to play. We hope that we can play, and that we do our very best when we get out there and, represent Michigan State well. So the focus is do the very best you can, and really enjoy that opportunity. And in a couple weeks we will be, we will be obviously our seniors. It'll be their last night in 2 weeks. So we will be celebrating their night in the Rutgers second match, and we just want to make sure that it's a positive, that we're going after it, and we're learning, and we're getting better, and we continue to improve day by day. And that's the thing, and that we play together and we play hard fight, and those things are important. And so we'll just like anything, you have to do the process, and you have to kind of do what you have to do to the best of your ability, and let everything else take care of itself. So.
Okay, Ian, I know you joined us late. Did you have any questions?
One thing, Jamie.
No, sorry, I've been a little discombobulated today.
One thing I was saying, Jamie, is like the fall, we do hope that everything gets back, and, we are planning for everything to be back. We're scheduling already for our pre-conference, where, we know that the schedule for the fall will not be released for a while. Like they're going to wait till after, some of this falls into place, but they, for the pre-conference, we're definitely scheduling it up, and we're planning on having fans, and we're doing all those types of things. But, again, you never know how this thing can take a wild turn, but, things are looking up in terms of the vaccine and just some of those things. So we're looking forward to a great fall, and everybody's going to be very, very hopeful, but very excited about, getting back to some semblance of normalcy. So.
Sorry, Ian, did you have a question for us?
No.
Oh, okay then. All right. Did we have any other questions? Jordan, are you all set?
Nope. Yeah, I'm all set.
All right.
Sweet.
Sounds good. We'll be back on Tuesday next week. We'll talk a little bit about our senior day, which will be on Saturday, and all those fun things that all of a sudden the end of the season sneaks up on you. Yeah. All right.
All right. Thank you so
Sounds
much, guys.
good. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.